Okay, gonna be real here. I was pretty disappointed with this episode of Taizai. I I did not like how the Estarossa and Escanor stuff was handled. Number one, the art and animation. The art's okay, but the animation was just, it was atrocious. It was not that good at all. And it just led to a very disappointing fight. And I know at the end of the day, fights aren't everything, but, and I've always said this, and even though this is a battle shonen, I do like dialogue and stuff like that. But this episode, or this moment of the series, Escanor versus Estarossa, is very important, especially if you're up to date with the manga and you understand some certain things. You'll realize how important this, fight is. And just seeing how only half of the episode was used for Escanor versus Estarossa, that was disappointing in itself. But it doesn't just stop there. Just the weight behind the scenes, even though they look cool in the anime, they just did not have the impact or the, the tension from the manga. It lacked that completely, and it made me very upset. I was a little bit upset with this episode, especially after just watching everything else I watched today, like Steins Gate, and then Megalobox. I've been watching this. I'm just like, really? Like, of all things, like, this iconic moment? Like, I expected this to be a glorious episode. I mean, we had that great moment when Meliodas versus the Ten Commandments. That was pretty awesome. I like the way that was done, the music and everything. But they didn't even really use any good music in the fight with Estarossa versus Escanor. And I was just like, huh? Why would you do that? Like, I mean, I understand Meliodas is the MC. I understand that, and I'll get into the can of worms at the end, what happened at the end of the episode in a second, but basically, I know he's the MC, and I know that it was a climactic fight, and it was a very emotional scene for manga readers, and probably anime-onlys as well, but the Estarossa and Escanor stuff is also extremely important, because Escanor is a very important character. He is really important. Yes, he's a plot device in a lot of cases, but, I mean, he is a very important character, and seeing how it was just such disrespect to his character, that saddens me. Which, I want to talk about something real quick. So, I saw a couple anime-onlys last week tell me that they still are enjoying Escanor. They're loving his character, they're loving the anime, and that's good. I am happy to hear that. And it really does go to show, I want to take a word from someone I saw in the comments talking about it, it goes to show how good of a character Escanor is, or his personality, if anime-onlys are not getting to see the true greatness of his character, his true presence that was in the manga and the anime, but they could still fall in love with his character. It just really shows how amazing he is in the manga, or Escanor in general. So, I'm just like, I'm happy and pleased that anime-onlys do think that way, but at the same time, I'm just upset because I wish you guys could see the true reasons to why many of us came up with the meme praise to some. Well, I know it came from Dark Souls, but I'm talking about how we attach that meme to Escanor, okay? Don't slip my throat for what I just said there, like, earlier on. But basically, the Praise the Sun meme, we use that on Escanor just because of how epic he is. He's literally a sun god and all that. And I mean, what he did in this episode, slinging around freaking suns, burning Estarossa like nothing, the man's just slung away. Like, yo, that's pretty epic. Which, let's get into the fight, okay? I don't think I want to dwell upon the disappointment that the way the art animation looked and all that, the way it was presented. Let's just talk about the fight, give context of what was going on. So, number one, I love Escanor's one-liners. If there's one thing I did like about the scene, the voice acting for Escanor, Gintoki's voice actor is amazing. Like, yo, he's always been amazing. He's always had good characters, good lines and stuff, and just hearing him on Escanor and what he said and all that, he's like, I am the sin of pride. He's like, oh, I was wondering why I felt pain. It was because it was my own blow. I'm that's usually how it is. I'm just like, oh my god, like, this man is so arrogant and prideful. It's hilarious. The way he was just like, oh, I took damage, I felt pain and all that, but it was just my own blow, so that makes sense. And then the whole stuff with at the end, where Estarossa's, getting upset, he's like, I'm gonna, blacken out your, your son, your puny son, or whatever. And then Escanor's like, who told you could say that? I am the one that decides that, if my son can be black, and I am the one that decides who is defeated, or whatever. And the man just launches this giant fireball at Estarossa, and I'm just like, yo, like, that's freaking crazy. And, I mean, I remember in the manga when I saw that, I was jumping for joy, because Escanor's character, it's amazing. Just the way he just, like, completely dominates the battlefield. He's strong. But once again, he does have a crucial weakness. I want to remind everybody, if you've forgotten, when it hits nighttime, he's extremely weak. So he's only this OP in the middle of the day. And remember, he gets gradually stronger until it reaches high noon. So, yeah, that's the big point there. And so, technically, if you look at this fight, Escanor was not at max strength. I just want to be completely clear there that he was not at max when he took down Estarossa. It just goes to show how insane he really is. Now, speaking of the whole situation with Escanor, I do like some subtle foreshadowing that was done in this episode. I didn't realize when I first read this in the manga. There was some really impressive foreshadowing when it came to the four angels, to the whole situation with Zeldaris and Estarossa, you know, popping up, or, you know, Zeldaris popping up and protecting, you know, Estarossa. They were trying to protect him against Escanor's attack. I mean, there was so much foreshadowing there to, like, certain characters in the future of the four angels and stuff. I'm just pretty shocked. And I'm just like, yo, did Nakaba really do that? I mean, it's pretty impressive. It does go to show that he knows where he wants to take the story, and that, you know, he's been planning a lot of things for a while. Not just the stuff with Meliodas and Elizabeth, but other things for a good long while, which I'm pretty impressed with. So just, good job, Nakaba. That your writing definitely, you know, shows that you know how to handle your series. I'm pretty impressed by that. But, anyways, let's talk about the situation with, what happened to Estarossa. So he was launched off. The man was completely launched off. Zeldaris tried to jump in and help out, and eventually Mon and Derriere say that their magical energy just basically completely disappeared. It vanished, and there's no context of what happened. We have no idea. So, for all we know, Zeldaris and Estarossa, they just died. And that's pretty savage, because when you look at the body count right now, Escanor has bodied pretty much half of the Ten Commandments. Yeah, that's insane. That's pretty insane that Escanor has bodied that many people. It shows that the man is, OP. Yeah, he's OP. If he didn't have his weakness, it would be too broken. Now, let's, talk about the stuff with Mon, Derriere, Nerobasta, and all that, or Basta, however you pronounce her name. Basically, in this episode, we get introduced to our first goddess. We get to see the Goddess Clan for the first time. Now, I know for a fact, you don't have to be a manga reader to notice this. If you're an anime only, you definitely notice it now, that Elizabeth's eye, her symbol on her eye, is very similar to the eyes that popped up on Denzel when Nerobasta took over his body. The eyes are obviously eyes of a goddess, which makes you wonder what's going on with Elizabeth. Is she a host for a goddess, similar to what happened to Denzel, or what's going on here? That's what many might be wondering, because you get to see how she used Arc in this, you know, episode. She actually used Arc to take off Derriere's hand, which is what we saw Nerobasta do against the Ten Commandments as well earlier on in the episode. So we know for a fact when you look at this that Elizabeth's Arc was obviously stronger than Nerobasta's, because Nerobasta, she imprisoned, you know, Derriere and all that, but it didn't do nothing. She just broke out of it like it was nothing. But you have it to where Elizabeth, she used Arc on her hand, and it's just like, gone, just popped away. So, what's going on with Elizabeth? That's something I do want to point out for you anime onlys to pay attention to, because, yeah. Now, other thing as well to that scene, Mon and Derriere, I've always loved their relationship and how they talk with each other, especially that haircut scene. It's so cute. I know many might not like that or care about it at all, but that little mini haircut scene where just Mon is just cutting Derriere's hair and all that, giving her a little, you know, a cut, I'm just like, that's just so adorable. And I'm going to be honest here, I've always shipped those two characters. I know ships aren't important or anything like that, I'm going to be real here, but I've always shipped those two just because of how adorable they are, and just how they have this, like, good relationship going on. I mean, you can obviously see that Mon cares about her. I mean, going out of his way to actually cut her hair. Which, speaking of Mon and Derriere, I do want to talk about Derriere's demeanor in this episode, and what the Goddess Clan said to her. Number one, we found out in a quick little scene with Nerobasta when she took over Denzel's body, that Nerobasta was more of a coward than anything else. She ran away. As soon as she realized the situation that she was going up against the Ten Commandments, she's like, nope, and just nope the hell out of there and wanted to run away. Which shows that these Goddess Clan members are not as honorable as we always fought. When you think about the context of the story of what's been presented, we've always assumed the Goddess Clan are these people that are the protectors of humanity. But then you see this scene with her just running away and all that, like not wanting to fight the Ten Commandments, shows that they're very selfish and they don't care a lot. And at the same time, we do know that she was weaker, obviously, than the Ten Commandments, but even still, though, the point stands is we see a personality to a Goddess Clan member that we honestly didn't expect, or something you would not expect from this fabled clan that's been set up for so long. And so, seeing that scene also, when she started talking about, I was just under orders to kill, like, everybody, the civilians of the demon clan and all of that, when she was now monologuing towards Derriere, it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, whoa, there's a lot more going on here than, we were unaware of. And so, that's a big twist. It makes you wonder, who was really the good guy in the war, the Holy War 3,000 years ago? That starts to creep into your mind, because, with the whole situation with Nerobasta did, running away, getting Denzel killed, to the situation with, saying, oh, I was under orders and all that by high-ranking Goddess Clan members to do what I did and all that, to do what we did, don't take personal, I didn't do it. That just shows that, there's some crusty stuff going on in the Goddess Clan, but it makes you wonder what exactly. But that's pretty much about it, besides the stuff with Zeratrus, Mon, Derriere, and Elizabeth and Meliodas at the end of the episode. So, Meliodas, he's popped back up again. Now, I hear you loud and clear. I know anime-onlys and manga readers also can agree with me in a lot of cases as well. When this first happened in the manga, many of us were very disappointed, because even if we knew it was obvious that Meliodas was going to return because of the whole thing with Purgatory and all that, we knew he was not permanently dead. The point stands is it would have been nice to have Meliodas out of the picture for a while. Have him gone for a good long while to develop our other characters, to see what would happen without our MC. And he came back pretty quickly. I think in the manga it was about maybe 5 or 8 chapters at max. It wasn't really that long in the grand scheme of things, and so I was a little bit disappointed that Meliodas came back so quickly to take the spotlight once again. Now here's the thing you gotta remember. It was stated in Purgatory that the DK basically is stealing emotions and stuff from Meliodas. That's what was stated in the last episode. So, what's happened to Meliodas? Is he still the same? Is he different? That is the question you got to be asking yourself in this episode as well, because we didn't really get to see him in this episode when he popped up. He seemed to act the same, though. He seems to be okay, but is there something wrong? That is the question that you should be asking, too. But with that, I want to end this video here. I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And with that, Chibi out.